Welcome back to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Jane Bellante. And if you are new here, this is the space where we explore how to bring your creativity, your intuition, and your business into alignment so that the way you grow doesn't just look good on paper, it actually feels good in your body and your life. Sorry, I am late. Facebook has been a little wonky going live this morning, so I am grateful that you're here because today we're going to have a very honest conversation about manifestation. And there is so much noise out there about how to do manifestation, like making the vision board, repeating your affirmations, thinking positive, visualizing harder. And if you've tried those things, but still feel like something's missing, you are definitely not alone. Leilani, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So I talk to so many women, creative women, spiritual women, women building businesses, raising families, or maybe the kids are gone and you're trying to like find who you are again. And what I hear over and over is that I have tried manifestation, but it doesn't really work for me. Or you do the practices, but my life doesn't change in the way I thought it would, or it's not changing fast enough, right? So I want to take you through 10 of the most common experiences that show up when manifestation is feeling hard, or if you don't quite get it, or if you don't even know what manifestation really is. And for each one of these common experiences, I want to look at what's really happening beneath the surface, why the science really needs to be part of the growth, right? And what shifts when you start working with manifestation at a deeper level. So it really and truly is realizing, and this is a big truth, you've only been taught pieces of the process. And that your system, which is your body, your energy, and your subconscious identity, probably is not working in harmony. And oh, hey, Audrey and Jenny, so excited that you're here. Oh my gosh. And when those pieces come together, manifestation becomes less about forcing and more about allowing. Okay, so let's get into it today. Welcome to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast, the show where creativity meets strategy and mindset meets success. I'm Jane Bellante, artist, coach, and creative entrepreneur, here to help you break free from self-doubt, clear limiting beliefs, and build a business that aligns with who you truly are. Each week, we dive into the mindset shifts, visibility strategies, and creative breakthroughs that help you turn your passion into a thriving business without burnout, overthinking, or perfectionism holding you back. If you're ready to step into your power, create with confidence, and grow a business you love, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. You can join me every single Monday at 10 a.m. Central Time live in my Limitless Creators Hub that gives you the chance to respond, to ask questions, all of the things. Or you might be listening on Apple or Spotify to the replay or watching the replay on YouTube. Either way, I'm so glad you're here. So, okay, let's start. 10 of the most common experiences that show up when manifestation feels hard. And the first one is recycling the same patterns over and over and over and over and over. Okay, so one thing that I want to let you know is that consciously we can think that we're doing all the right things. Okay, like, yep, I'm doing the thing, or I want to do the thing, and you're setting out this whole new thing for yourself. Like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm really just going to react this way, in this way, in this way, right? But your conscious brain is only active 5% of the time. Your subconscious mind, your subconscious brain, runs the show 95% of the time. So you could be doing all the things. You could be journaling. You could be setting intentions. You could be doing your vision board. You could write down affirmations. You can show up for the practices everybody talks about, But when you look at your life, the same patterns keep showing up again and again and again. This might be in your relationships. It could be in money. Like you might earn some, but somehow it leaves immediately and you're back where you started, or you just can't ever get ahead, or you just, keep looking at your bank account and wishing for it to be different. It could be in the opportunities that are showing up, like you could be taking action, but the results keep circling back to the same plateau. And it feels like no matter what you try, the cycle keeps replaying. And here's why that happens. Journaling, vision boards, affirmations, these are really beautiful tools, but truly, they only reach your conscious mind. Now, affirmations can work differently if you are committed to rewiring your mind, but if you're just saying them every once in a while, this is just coming from your conscious mind and they're not going to wire themselves in. So the deeper patterns are in your subconscious identity. And then your nervous system responds and your energy field responds. And they don't shift just because your mind wants them to. And that's why the same experiences keep coming back. Your body and your energy are still running the old program. And this can be at the same time that your conscious mind is actually reaching for something new. So the good news is when you align at the deeper level, those repeating cycles start to dissolve. You don't have to fight them anymore. You simply stop resonating with them because your whole system is oriented towards something new. Okay, and you've heard me talk before about when you have a thought, that thought resonates into every cell in your body. And I want you to know that we have 50 trillion cells in our body. And each one of those cells is literally a replica of you. It's mind-blowing, right? I'm not going to get into the full discussion about what that is, but each one of those 50 trillion cells has a receptor on it. And this is an identity receptor. So those cells act upon the identity that your subconscious mind is running. So the second, most common experience that happens when you're trying to manifest is that you feel disconnected from your desires. And it's because your subconscious brain is running the show and sending those signals to those 50 trillion cells that you feel disconnected. Because consciously you can know what you want. You've set intentions. But if you're honest, there's a part of you that doesn't believe it. It's a voice that says that's too much. I'm not worth it. That's not realistic. That isn't for someone like me. It's for everybody else. This doesn't work for me. Right? So consciously you can name your desires, but you don't feel connected to them. They feel far away. Again, it's like something that belongs to other people, but not you. Right? So this happens because while your conscious mind is clear, your subconscious identity and nervous system may not recognize those desires as being safe or even being possible. They're still wired for your old patterns of doubt, of fear, of not for me. So when you bring your body, identity, and energy back into coherence, this is when things start to shift. Your system registers that your desire belongs here. And from that place, you don't have to force belief or talk yourself into worthiness. It actually feels true. And that's when your desires stop feeling like fantasies and they start feeling like home. You've heard me say this before. When your brain believes it, you start to see it. This is what I mean. It's sending those thoughts to your 50 trillion cells in your body. And when you start to rewire those thoughts, because that's all thoughts are, right? You can change them. You just have to make it habit. You're in the habit of repeating all of the old things that may have been given to you, things you may have given to yourself, right? Thoughts. You can change your thoughts. But it does take habit. And until you have the new habit, the new rewiring, you'll keep getting triggered into old responses. And this is pattern number 3. You've been feeling good, you're doing your practices, you're in the flow, you're holding the vision, and then something happens. Maybe someone says something that actually hits a nerve, you get an unexpected bill, plans fall through, and suddenly your whole body reacts. You snap, you shut down, you start spiraling into fear. And then you wonder, why does this keep happening? Right? Because you're working so hard, you're trying so hard, right? But here is what's happening. Your nervous system is carrying old imprints from past experiences. This is what's wired into that subconscious brain that is in control 95% of the time. So when something reminds it, even slightly, that reacts automatically. So those protective responses happen before your subconscious mind even has a chance to step in, or before your conscious mind has a chance to step in. This is why manifestation feels inconsistent. You can have the clearest vision, but if your body is still wired for old fear, it keeps pulling you back. So the shift actually happens when you begin to include your nervous system and your energy field in the process. So when your body experiences safety in the present, those old triggers actually lose their power. So instead of reacting from the past, you can respond from the future you're creating. And hopefully this makes sense. So the 4th pattern is living in the emotions of the past. You're focusing on your goals, you're holding your vision, but the past keeps creeping in. So the breakup, the disappointment, the regret, you play moments that hurt you. The emotions feel just as heavy today as they did years ago. And what I want you to know is the subconscious mind is actually wiring in your response to those things. The breakup, the disappointment, the regret. Your subconscious mind is wiring in your response. And it colors your present. You want to move forward, but those emotions keep pulling you back. And this happens because the emotional charge from those experiences hasn't been released. You keep rewiring it over and over. Your body and your energy are still carrying them. And forcing positivity doesn't make them go away. It just pushes them down, and then they keep resurfacing. And then you have the thought, and that thought gets sent to the 50 trillion cells in your body that has those receptors, those identity receptors that say, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is me. And you keep rewiring that. So when you integrate those emotions at the level your body understands, the past stops leaking into your present. You don't have to fight to stay positive because you genuinely feel lighter, freer, and more open to what's next. So you've heard me say the thoughts and the feelings are in the present, right? That's why presence is so important, because you can stop letting that subconscious brain take over 95% of the time. The presence keeps you in the conscious brain, and the conscious brain is where you can create new and amazing things from, because that conscious brain helps you rewire the subconscious brain. It's crazy, right? This is crazy, but it's true. How about this pattern? You feel like your body's in the way. So maybe you're ready to create something new. You've got this amazing idea, or you're just like so recommitted to making your business work. But your body doesn't seem to be on board. You start getting anxiety, you start feeling like somebody's stepping on your throat. Maybe you're having a lot of fatigue. Maybe you can't sleep. Maybe health challenges keep flaring up. And this especially happens when you're focusing on growth. It feels like your body is resisting you. But I want to let you know that your body isn't against you. Those signals are communication, that exhaustion, that anxiety, the tightness, those medical symptoms, they're messages pointing to where alignment hasn't landed yet. So instead of getting mad at yourself, like, oh my God, I keep getting sick, or oh my God, this anxiety is crushing me, right? You can actually look at those as clues. This is where you are not aligned. So when you bring your biology into the process, when your nervous system and your energy actually come into coherence, that's when the body shifts. So instead of feeling like your body is the barrier, it actually becomes your ally, because you can change how you feel by changing your nervous system, right? Lots of things you can do that, using your breath, like some people like EFT tapping, humming does it, right? So your body can become your ally. When you feel safe, your subconscious brain stops fighting against it. It starts sending signals to those 50 trillion cells going, okay, this is actually, we're safe here. We're safe here. And those 50 trillion cells with those identity receptors begin to understand that you're safe to walk into the future that you keep dreaming of. So if you are here live with me, I want to know if this is resonating with you, and I want to know if you have any questions, okay? So the sixth pattern here, most common pattern, is that you overthink manifestation. Maybe you catch yourself saying, am I doing this right? Am I visualizing long enough? What if I'm blocking myself? Right? And manifestation then begins to feel like a test you could fail instead of a process that feels creative and alive. And this happens because the mind has been told that it's responsible for everything, that every thought has to be perfect or else. And of course that creates pressure. But manifestation was never ever meant to rest only in the mind. And it's when your whole system, your body, your identity, your energy, and your spirit, when all of those things are aligned, the mind relaxes, and you don't have to micromanage every thought. The process flows more easily, and you can actually enjoy it again. Jenny says, speaking directly to me, right? I mean, I get it. I have been there. I've really, really dug into this. And I have seen how my own life has changed exponentially. And I keep manifesting the experiences that I want to manifest, that I want to experience, right? The things that I have dreamt about are now coming into my life. So number 7, common experience is inconsistent practices. Okay, and inconsistency comes because the subconscious brain goes, it's not safe if you keep doing this. We gotta sink back into what's safe. And what's safe is all of those thought patterns that have been wired into your brain since you were a child. So maybe you start journaling. Maybe you're going to meditate. Maybe you have affirmations that you're saying, and maybe you do them for 5 days, and then you stop. And it's tempting to tell yourself that you just lack discipline. I'm just not disciplined enough, right? But inconsistency is not about willpower. You will fight against yourself all the time. That's what creates all that anxiety in your body. You're fighting against yourself because your conscious mind goes, I know that this is the way. And your subconscious mind goes, we can't do this. This isn't our identity. So inconsistency is actually about resonance. When practices don't feel nourishing, it's because they're not fully landing in your system. Your subconscious brain kicks them out right away and goes, nope, that's not us. And then it sends the not us signal to those identity receptors in your 50 trillion cells. And the 50 trillion cells go, that's right, that's not us. What is us? We're anxious. We're scared. We are not disciplined. We can't have what we want. We can't have what other people have. Right? That's the not self that you keep wiring over and over. So they don't land in your system because your subconscious brain kicks it out right away and sends the signal to those cells. This isn't us. We don't do this. So it feels like massive effort, and you'll go, but I'm trying. I'm trying, right? It feels like effort without return. So when alignment is in place, these practices begin to feel different. They actually give back to you, they energize you. And then consistency flows naturally, not because you force it, but because it feels good to show up in it. This is what I'm talking about when I say be your future self now. It feels good. It's not an act. You're just integrating. You're just embodying. Okay? Number 8. You might be having some good moments and then they don't last. Man, this was me. Okay. So, you know, those times where everything feels like it's finally clicking. You wake up clear. You start seeing synchronicities like, oh my gosh, I just got this opportunity that like I didn't even see coming, right? So those opportunities open up, and for a moment you go, yes, oh my gosh, I'm finally in the flow. But then it fades. The high dissolves. Those old doubts start creeping back in, and you're left wondering, why can't I hold on to this? But it's really, 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 really important to understand that those glimpses are actually evidence that alignment is available to you. You can use those as evidence because your brain seeks evidence, right? That subconscious brain seeks evidence. Generally, it's seeking negative evidence, like what we can't do this. Remember what happened last time? You were shunned, you were left out, you lost all your money, your check bounced, like whatever, right? You can use those glimpses that you're finally in the flow, that alignment is available to you, so that you can discredit your own brain and go, no, no, actually, remember when this good thing happened? That's how you begin to rewire. And these, you know, glimpses generally aren't lasting because your system hasn't stabilized there yet. Your body, your identity, your energy. They touched coherence, but then reverted to what's most familiar. And what's most familiar is keeping you in that pattern of lack, right? It's keeping you in the lack hole. And that is why it feels so inconsistent. The integration is not complete yet. But when you work at the level of alignment, those moments stop being temporary. Flow stops being something you chase. It becomes the baseline you are living from. And remember that you need to be committed to these new habits, right? The subconscious brain, all it's doing is repeating habits over and over and over. It's running 95% of the time. Most of the time, you're not even paying attention. Like, think about when you're driving and you're thinking about something else, or maybe somebody's in the car with you and you're having a conversation, and all of a sudden you're at your destination. You're like, wow, I don't even remember getting here, right? It's because your subconscious brain takes the habit of driving and it drives you. So that brain is in control all the time. And when you start working from the level of alignment, your conscious brain stops being the temporary driver and it starts to become in control. Number 9, comparison and frustration. This is so common. Like, this is so common, okay? How about when you're scrolling online, and online is like, well, you know, I say it to myself too, put your freaking phone down, okay? Unless you're watching good stuff like this or reading good stuff like this, right? You're scrolling online and it seems like everybody else has the greatest life. They always get what they want. Everything they touch is gold. Maybe it's the money, maybe it's the love, maybe it's all these opportunities that are coming in. And you wonder, why not me? What am I missing? And then you start to feel that anxiety and you feel like, oh, well, I'm just not good enough. Apparently I can't do this, right? Because comparison feels heavy. and it makes your own progress look smaller than it is. But what is really happening is that you're measuring your journey against someone else's. And that helps you wire in the identity of not good enough, this isn't for me, like, right? Those thoughts go, then they send that signal to the 50 trillion cells. The identity receptors in those 50 trillion cells wire that in. And then you keep repeating the same stuff over and over and over and over and over. Manifestation is not one size fits all. It unfolds uniquely for each person because no two people are the same. Even identical twins do not have the same cell structure. No two people are the same. So when your system actually comes into alignment, you stop needing to compare. And when you realize that you are comparing, you immediately go, ugh. I'll put my phone down and be like, why am I on my phone? Because that's where I find myself comparing, right? You begin to trust your own rhythm, and from that place, results unfold in a way that actually feel authentic to you. So tell me if this is making sense. I know it's Labor Day and a lot of people are not here live with me, especially if you're watching the replay. Comment below. If you're on YouTube watching, comment in the comments. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, leave me a little note. I want to know if this is resonating with you. So the last unwanted experience is feeling fragmented. Because you believe, and you actually know, that manifestation is real. You have had glimpses. And I want to let you know that we're manifesting all the time. All the time. What you see in your life is what you are manifesting. Manifesting doesn't have to just be this magical, I get everything I want thing, right? Manifesting is what we do. It's creation. And you're creating every second of every day based on the thoughts that you are having. The thoughts that are wired into your brain. So you've had glimpses that you can manifest something new, something better. But the methods you've tried, the vision boards, the affirmations, the journaling, it feels incomplete. It's like you have pieces of the puzzle, but they don't fully connect. And then you think something is wrong with just you. Well, everybody else can do it, but I can't. And then you float right back into your old patterns again, that old black hole pattern. You're stuck at the bottom of it, right? So you do have pieces of the puzzle. You're right, but they're fragmented. Manifestation actually becomes sustainable when spirit and science and energy are aligned. It takes all of those things. And then when the pieces connect into one coherent system, the process finally feels whole. And that's the foundation of my brand new method, the source alignment method. It brings every level of your being into coherence. So your desires don't just stay as ideas, they become your lived reality. And if you recognize yourself in any one of those common experiences that I just named, I want you to know that these experiences are not proof that manifestation doesn't work for you. They're signals that you've only been shown part of the process. Because I know frustration creeps in and then you're like, ugh, forget it. Why am I even doing this? I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of trying and nothing ever changes. And it's because you don't have those three things in alignment: the spirit, the science, and the energy. It's all aligned. So when you bring your whole system into that alignment, your body, your subconscious identity, your energy, and your actual spirit manifesting the things you want instead of the things you don't want becomes steady and magnetic and natural. So that is what I'm going to guide you through in this new course, the Source Alignment Method. It's going to be a 4-week course. I'm going to do it live with you. And I want to invite you. I want to invite you to come because you can keep trying all of these surface tools and hope that they finally click for you. And I want to let you know that they won't. Or you can step into coherence and experience manifestation at the deepest level where it actually lasts. So if you're ready for that, get on the wait list. It's coming soon. I am actually waiting. I'm waiting because so many of you said, yes, oh my gosh, do a manifestation course, do a manifestation course. And I'm not seeing that excitement back. And so I'm not going to put this out until that excitement comes back, right? That's when it will be fully aligned. So get on the wait list. It's coming soon. And let me actually put the wait list link in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube on the replay, it'll be there. And it will be in the show notes on Apple and Spotify. Get on that wait list. And the deepest thing that I want you to know is that when you put these components together and understand them, that manifesting what you want becomes the default. Because right now the default is manifesting everything you don't want. And you've got to understand that you are the one creating this. And then the frustration that comes when it doesn't happen, especially when it doesn't happen fast enough, is an indication that you are missing those pieces of the puzzle. So happy Labor Day, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I am super grateful. I can't wait to see you on that wait list, and I cannot wait to teach you all of these things in the 4-week course that is coming. This is a course that will, if you integrate, it will change your life. It has changed mine exponentially. It is mind-blowing, and I can't wait to see you there. So happy Monday, everybody, and I will see you next week. I'll be in Maui, so I might be a little bit later because 10 a.m. in Maui is 5 in the morning, and I'm not going to get up that early, 10 a.m. Central. I'm not going to get up at 5 in the morning to do this. So we might be later next week. We'll see, but either way, thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.